Okay, so you guys know I made that last video of the Bao situation. There's actually probably a lot more I need to know, but hey, let's watch him and let's watch you. Hi, hey, hi. I don't know which one it is, but let's check it out.
So we've got a very unfortunate turn of events here with
Ooh,
VTuber Bao the Whale and popular Japanese art website Skeb. And it all begins with this now deleted tweet from Bao, where she said, with a lot of crying emojis,
ooh,
"Artists, please ask permission before publicly posting finished commissions. I know you're really excited about finishing a really cool commission, but you might accidentally spoil a client's project. So many commissions I just gave up doing anything because it was posted before I could do anything with them." She then followed her take up with another one there in all caps, saying that she hates Skeb. I mean,
who's
quote,
Skeb?
"I hate you, Skeb," unquote. In the
Shit.
screenshots, you can see that it says like an hour ago and 51 minutes ago. It's because these are screenshots that remain on the internet that people posted. But again, I think these tweets were up for a few days, and she ultimately did delete them. But Skeb seemed to have found out about these tweets nevertheless, and they were not happy. And so we'll get to Skeb's response, but Bao actually, just like 30 minutes ago, made a tweet where she was saying that her tweet is not about Skeb.
Oh,
Instead, it's about her general experience with commissioned art. So I'm going to comment on this really quick,
that's kind of weird.
and then we'll read Skeb's full response and Bao's full response there, because what I just told you is only like the first sentence
Oh,
of
jeez.
the tweet that's like a few paragraphs long. But yeah, when I saw Bao's take initially on my timeline, I never saw the second part about it being about Skeb. So when I was first reading it, I just assumed this was like about commissioning in general, which Bao's now saying that it was about, which is a bit odd because she followed that up by saying she hates Skeb, which implies that it was about Skeb.
Yeah,
But
I
now
was gonna
she's saying
say
it's
it's about
not.
Skeb.
Nevertheless, I'll
Doesn't
comment
really
on
make
this
sense.
as simply about commissioning artists, right? So I thought Bao's take was pretty weird because you simply have a discussion with the artist before you commission them about things such as the price, the timeline of like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, because like when I commission my art to people, I we always have a discussion, and I think on VGen doesn't it tell you say, hey, am I allowed to share your art or am I allowed to stream your art on stream? Like, I thought that's kind of like how it works, and I know a lot of my artist friends like they always ask me, hey, is it cool if I promote it or something like that? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And for me, I always say sure because I'm like, I'm all for it. Like more promotion for me at the end of the day, and like most of the time it's never me teasing anything, but I can see it from her perspective. If like these artists aren't even like maybe they talked about it with her and then like, oh well, but by the way, I'm gonna lie and share my shit anyways. Sure, I mean I guess that could be a thing, right? But I don't think Bauer ever said that, at least from what I've seen. Like in terms of like she didn't explain it. Like, go, oh by the way, they told me that they weren't sure, but they are. But I don't know. Maybe in the video we'll see.
When they might finish it. I don't like to try to ask for a specific date because I think that puts too much pressure on the artist.
Oh yeah, me too. Like when they say, "Hey, when do you want this?" I'm like, dude, you take your time, do what you want to do. Like my new VTuber model, dude, it's not even done yet. But I told my artist, I said, take your time. I know you got shit going on. Take your time on it.
I think a general time frame is fair. Like, you think this will be done in a month, right? And it's like, yes, no, I don't need an exact date, but you kind of work that out with the artist beforehand, right?
Yeah.
And so this also applies to when the art's posted. For example, I've had some people in like some of my viewers that ask for the feet pic stuff, and they're totally memeing around, right? It's totally a meme. Nevertheless, I've commissioned some art recently, and one
Get
artist
out
I
of here. No
commissioned,
way.
they had no problem with the art being posted immediately. But another artist I commissioned, they wanted me to wait like a month before I posted the art or before they posted it, because first they
Hey,
posted it
does he
on
do
their
art?
fan box because they
I should
have
ask him.
people paying them to get early access to the art. And that's totally cool. Again, as long as it's something that everyone knows about, everyone being the person making the commission and the person getting the commission, work out beforehand by having a simple conversation, well, then everything works out fine. And if you're not okay with their terms, so to speak, you simply be like, okay, thanks for your time, but I'll have to look for a different artist. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So when Bao was talking about like artists posting art before she wants them to, I thought that was weird because again, this is something she should have established with the artist from the very get-go instead of
Yeah, like I said, like on VGen or anything like that, like any commission, you always talk about, so hey, is it cool if I, unless these artists, don't give a fuck, maybe. I don't know. That's the crazy part.
not apparently doing that and then posting about it on Twitter. Nevertheless, she did later follow that up as mentioned with saying that she hates Skeb. And Skeb is a platform I've never used, so I'm
I
not
already know
like
what
too
Skip
familiar with
is.
their specific way of doing things. But
Oh,
now she's
Skip's
saying
a
it's not actually
platform.
about Skeb after Skeb has responded to her So let's take a look at Skeb's response,
Ooh,
and
here
then
we
we'll
go.
take a look at Bao's full response. As mentioned, Skeb says, warning. All rights to works on Skeb belong to creators. Clients cannot restrict creators from publishing their works for any reason. This notice is shown at 4 times before sending their first request, and they cannot proceed unless they check the box agreeing to it.
Yeah, exactly. See, look
So as
at
mentioned, I've never
that. That's
used
what I
Skeb,
thought.
but that would make it very clear, how that works.
Yeah,
You can see
that's
those
what I
4
thought.
boxes, including the highlighted one that reads, the copyright of the work belongs to creator. It is prohibited to specify or restrict the publication, and it gets cut off, but presumably it says like of the work or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They go on to say again right here, please do not restrict creators' activities in a way that exceeds the rules stipulated by the service. In this context, of course, creator is not referring to like the streamer as the creator. This is referring to the artist as the creator. And then another highlighted area that reads, you cannot specify the range of publication of works and specify the delivery period that is shorter than the PER gets cut off once again. Let's read the next highlighted areas here. For deadline of the request, it is a violation of the terms for the client to specify the publication date and time. And types of requests, creators can freely publish on social networks and fansigns without permission from the clients. So this is some pretty strict stuff, but again, at least they make it very clear what you're getting into if you want to use Skeb.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
if you're not okay with these terms, then you simply don't use them. For example, Bao talking about how her commission was essentially ruined because the artist posted it before she wanted to be posted, and then
Yeah.
she couldn't do anything with it, which is very vague, and we don't know contextually like what exactly she's talking about here. But you can clearly see how something like that would not work with Skeb's terms of service, despite how she's now saying that it's not actually about Skeb. Her take's not actually about Skeb, apparently, even though she attached to her tweet that she hates Skeb, which made
Yeah.
everyone think that she's talking about Skeb, and now some people don't believe her when she's saying that it's not actually about Skeb. But I'm getting a
Yeah,
little
who's
ahead
it
of
by?
myself with that. We'll get to more of that in a moment. And like I said in the intro, this is a very unfortunate situation, and I don't like seeing Bao in this situation, but at the same time, she did bring this entirely on herself. All she had to do was not make that initial tweet. It's real.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Like I said, if I totally understand if the tweet was kind of like, well, I heard she's getting a lot of crap for the most part, and again, I don't know the full situation, so I really can't just go, yeah, Battle sucks kind of thing. But I can totally understand from a perspective where it's like, okay, like if you're getting frustrated with all this, and your artists are actually just fucking posting shit like she said it is, sure, I get it, right? But like I said, I think most of the time you kind of communicate with these artists, and I mean, at least that's what I would think for the most part. Like I said, VGen's an example. They'll literally ask you, unless Bao is someone who just checks off everything. Like sometimes some people just check shit off. They don't even know why they do it. I mean, I used to have a bad habit of that, just checking things off. I didn't know what the heck I was checking off. Like even now, like people comment on my pages on YouTube where they're just like, oh well, it's funny how you say this, but you turn off the likes and dislikes. I'm like, oh, I mean, for me, I was like, I didn't even know that was an option. And then apparently there's like a fine line print where you check that box where it says you like and dislike. I didn't even know about that. So I mean, so stuff like that. Like maybe she just didn't look at the fine print or something like that. At least that's what I think personally. Rex, are you tired? Sorry, I got distracted by my dog.
Really, really unfortunate. And I say this
Maybe I
with
should
the
shock
most
him.
respect and kindness to people out there. It's a general, what's the word? A general bit of advice, so to speak. Some people do too much on Twitter, guys. Sometimes tweeting less is the right move. Skeb goes on to post,
That's true. I don't
Skeb
tweet
is
that much either.
fundamentally different from
Sometimes.
Western art commission platforms. It's a creator support platform rooted in Japan's Sukebu culture, where artists draw illustrations on the spot at doujinshi conventions. Skeb is not a stock material marketplace. Over 30% of users
Wow, they're
are
going
now
ham.
from overseas. We sincerely thank everyone abroad who understands our terms and policies carefully and supports creators. Important. Only we may issue warnings or impose penalties for violations of our terms and policies. When misinformation spreads, we will contact the parties involved directly. Vigilant actions or attacks are strictly prohibited. Thank you for your understanding. Addendum. So now we can theorize a little bit because this is very interesting when Skeb talks about how they will reach out to parties involved directly. Because if I recall, Bao's take was up for a few days before she deleted it. And it seems like not long after she deleted it, did Skeb come out with this statement that very clearly seems to be implied to be about Bao's tweet, as it did get seen a lot and shared a lot on Twitter. And so I do wonder if Skeb reached out to her initially and then she deleted her tweet, and now we see this response from them. Skeb wasn't even done there either. They even made a whole other tweet about this, saying, Skeb doesn't and will not support commercial use requests, e.g. character design and thumbnails.
Oh yeah,
Please
like even
consider
with like Fiverr and VGen. There you go. See, those are the other ones.
using Fiverr, VGen, or Schema. And finally, they say, quote unquote, support refers to functions focused on commercial use requests, such as pricing plans, quality assurance, or NDA found on other commission platforms. We apologize for our poor English. Please take this opportunity
I don't know,
to
their
check
English is
the
pretty good, to be
client
honest.
guidelines. With all that context, we now have Bao's response from just about an hour ago. She says, my original tweet was not about Skeb. It was my general experience with commissioned art. My opinion of Skeb was an afterthought. I get why people are thinking the former. I haven't used Skeb.
Okay, from this point of view, I think she's totally trying to like hide herself. Like, yeah, I think she's pulling a Hassan where she's like, "Well, I actually didn't shock my dog. Oh well, no, I actually did," and that she's pulling a Hassan here.
For almost a year. My tweet went way out of my circle and understandably
Clearly.
led to a lot of people to think what I was saying was 100%
Well,
about Skeb.
but why would you say that? Why would you say you hate Skeb like right after you posted something like that, which was connected to that tweet?
It wasn't. The reason why I said I disliked Skeb was due to the option of keeping the commission private on the artist Skeb profile. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I just don't want my NSFW commissions connected to my Skeb profile. If it's posted on their Twitter with no connection to me, that's fine. Work in process, streams, all of it is fine. As for general commissions, aka what my tweet was originally about, commissions not via any website, if you took the time to see my replies, it was 100% in support of artists, and I continually wish for ways to better serve the purpose of the commission, such as paying for an NDA fee, extra cost to keep a commission hidden, etc. I
I mean, I
understand why
guess,
this
yeah.
confuse artists, but even in my replies, I did not spread misinformation about Skeb. I'm aware of how
That's
the
true.
site
She
works,
just said I
albeit
hate
through
Skeb.
a lot of trial and error, but this is the common experience, and I'm allowed to say it isn't my preference. This part where she says if you took the time to see my replies seems to be an unfair and unrealistic.
I'll be honest, and most people don't really take the time to look at the replies because a lot of people get baited by the first tweet usually. That's including myself. Like, I don't even bother trying to check out this stuff, to be honest. I should be, for the most part. But that's why I do this thing where, like, if I don't have enough information about it, and if I'm not comfortable talking about it, I don't talk about it for the most part. I kind of respond to the first things I see. And that's why there's, like, what do you call that word? It's like, totally forgot the word. Was it rage bait or something like that? Or like, there's another word I totally forgot what it was called, but basically it's like the first clip they see. That's one they base everything off of. I do my best. I'll say this. I'll do my best not to try to talk about a video if I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But if I know a kind of an idea for it, I kind of roll with it. Like I said, like even in my Bao video, my last one, I was talking and it was on stream, and I was just saying like, well, I'll do my best to try talking about it, but I don't know the full story about it. But from what I'm hearing just from this tweet, I totally understand from both sides. So again, that's just one thing, right? This is a total different topic. So this thing for me, like I'm not too familiar how this works on the Skeb situation, but it seems like she's kind of like only talking crap about them about one thing, right? But the other stuff she's not really talking about. It's like the other stuff, right?
Standard to have on people. Like, say what you want to say in your initial tweet, your full take, in the initial tweet or the ones that are directly attached to it. But you can't then like expect everyone to just spend all the time going through all the responses to look for something that they don't even know is there, and then to like hold that against them. Bao added on to her take saying, I'm very sorry for the stir it caused. What is not my cup of tea can still be yours, but I should be more aware of my influence, and that's no excuse. No matter my issues, art is meant to be human, and I would rather deal with a few hiccups than resort to AI.
I don't know. AI art's pretty good too.
Also, I was emailed a violation of terms of service, so took down my tweet.
Hey, look, it's Sylvie. I know that bitch. Oh, hold on. Let me go this way. Well, I know her. Look at that. Oh, look at her go ham. You think you should be mindful when you write.
Okay, so that's exactly what
She trying to get into that drama too.
And she goes on to say, there wasn't any clarification in the email, but since I haven't used Skeb in almost a year, I assumed it was because of it. As you can see, this response near the top says, I think you should be mindful of what you write. Following up with, quote unquote, I hate Skeb, very, very strongly implies they're a big culprit in the post. It also generates general negativity because hate is a strong word.
No, that's true. But I agree with this. Like, she definitely does need to be careful of this, and at least Bao admits to that, right? That's on me. I should have clarified in the following tweet and by replies. Yeah, so I get it. Like, if she admits to it, like I would rather have someone like admit to their faults rather than just hide it and not say shit like Hassan does all the time. Like, I think what she did was the right move. At least like admitting fault, because like here's what I've learned about life: the quicker you admit to your faults, um the easier life would be on you, right? I think overall. But that's crazy how Sylvie's on there. Wow, she's pretty popular now, I guess. I've seen her videos a long time ago with like Mecha Break and Gunpla building shit like that. But good on her.
Word. And Bao says, that's on me. I should have clarified in the follow up tweet and not replies, which also kind of goes back to the criticism I had of her tweet just like a minute ago. So at least she is owning up to that. A few more responses here we'll take a look at, where the next one reads, I saw it and just thought it was you having a moment of frustration. I'm sorry it left your bubble and just became another reason to criticize you. She says, it really was never that deep. And
Mm.
this one says, at this point, girl, you could say, I like cats and people are going to scream, you hate.
That's actually very true. People can misinterpret shit so badly where like shit does happen like that. So at least she's still getting some kind of support, right? Again, like I don't know too much of this Bao enough to like hate her. I don't hate her at all. Like I've only heard of her a few times. I mean, I don't really hate a lot of people. There's only a few people I really do hate in the world, and that's like three people. That's Gavin Newsom, Jimmy Kimmel, and Hassan. There you go. Three people I hate in the world.
Dogs. Why do they
Oh,
read so
and Adam Schiff.
far into the
That's
tweets
four.
like that? This is such a crazy thing to say because the issue is not with people reading too much into the tweet like this person is saying. It's very clearly an issue with how the tweets were structured and attaching to the initial complaint how Bao said that she hates Skeb. Anyways, Bao responds to that person saying, I used to get 3,000 likes and maybe like 20 retweets. I don't know why this keeps happening. On the flip side, a lot of people seem to think that Bao's not being honest with claiming it wasn't about Skeb. In other words, they think it was about Skeb. For
Oh
example,
god, here we
this
go.
one responding to Bao saying, me when I lie, and posting where she had said that she hates
I
Skeb.
mean, I can see that for
Bao then
sure.
says, post my replies, dog, and gets a response from someone with a dog profile pic. That's actually kind of hilarious. But this person posts where Bao had said, I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform.
Hmm.
And then this would get a follow up from someone else who posts the full conversation there, which had the context of this person, Zazzy, saying if you use VGen, there is a terms of service and
Yep.
options.
I use VGen, and then that's actually very true. They get a lot of this stuff. A lot. See, like again, that's why I thought it was never an issue because that was the same thing. That's why I'm wondering if Skep is not like that. They just let you post whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like with VGen, it's very TOSE, which is good. I think it's a good thing for sure. They have a lot of rules, and you can check stuff, and you can ask them stuff like that. And it looks like she doesn't use it, so there you go. So I think VGen's really look one of my favorites. I've been using VGen like a good amount of months already.
Usually saying if the artist is allowed to post or if you need to pay a confidentiality fee. Everywhere else, though, it can be pretty dicey.
Yep,
Bao says, I actually do not use VGen.
she should.
And this other person, Silver, saying it's pretty cool. I've been working on VGen for like 2 years already, and you can find really good stuff. To which Bao then made that follow-up take, once again, that reads, I hate Skeb with a burning passion. I just don't think I have it in me to trust another similar platform. And I don't really see how all of this is really helping Bao's case about it apparently not being about Skeb, where she says, like, post the replies. I don't think this is helping as mentioned unless I'm missing something here. But let me know what you think. I would also like to point this out really quick,
Yeah.
where Bao says, my tweet went way out of my circle. I don't understand how someone who is in a public-facing position, like a streamer, especially one who's successful, to compliment Bao. She's a very successful streamer. She's high profile in the streamer niche, excuse me. Point being, I don't understand how someone in that sort of position could even expect to make a tweet that's only going to stay in the so-called quote-unquote inner circle. Or
Yeah, I mean, like, if it was me saying that shit, no one would give a shit because I'm not a big enough content creator to be noticed like that. Like, I don't think anyone would really care if I posted it. But if someone like her, obviously, she has a little more room. And I can say the same thing about Hassan, right? Like, anything what Hassan does, people are going to hate him regardless, or like him regardless, depending on what he tweets, right? And same thing as Asmongold, any big streamer, maybe even Hero here, like, if he posts anything, people will probably feel the same way. But like I said, like, I like, as someone as Bao, like, if you think you have just an inner circle or something like that, then I think that's kind of BS because again, she's a pretty big streamer. Like I said, if this was from me commenting on this, I don't think anyone would care for the most part. But because it's her, it makes a big difference.
or whatever, however that's defined. Like, dude, you've got a lot of people that follow you and a lot of people that are interested in what you say. Again, I say that as a compliment to her. But that therefore means if you make a public statement, you can't expect it to just stay in your inner circle. Again, however that's supposed to be defined. In the quote tweets, we can see that a lot of people think Bao's lying. For example, this one that says, lie and try to delete your tweets because you're a freaking liar. And this one that says, girl, I respect your work, but...
Hold on for a second. Let me tweet this. Let me tweet this real quickly. Sorry, I thought it was a really funny comment that
They're
posted.
destroying you in the quote tweets.
Oh, Shadow.
Here's someone who was defending her earlier tweets.
Oh, here you go.
They say, I stand by me defending her earlier tweet. But this one's really dumb. Like, come on, lol. I do not buy that you suddenly mentioned Skeb for an entirely different reason and complaint when the tweet very much read as a Skeb jab. I'm really trying to look for some tweets that are defending Bao entirely so we could have some, like, differing opinions here. But as you can see, it looks like the majority of people in the quote tweets are not really having her respond.
Yeah, and again, like I think this is just one of these dopey tweets that just happened, and and just whether she's lying or not, like it just came off really horribly. I think overall, so like again, and it looks like at least she admitted to it, right? She admitted from her mistakes from it. Now, whether it was right or wrong, I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. This is kind of one of those things. It's like you read it as what it is, and you look at the replies. You can determine what you think about it. I don't think she's ever gonna whatever. She's never going to give you the answer that you're looking for. She's just going to do whatever she says. But no, I mean, from what I've seen here, it seems like I thought it was about Skip. It really does come off that way for sure. I don't know. Better explain it, right?
They're not really believing it. Just goes on and on. Like this one saying, yeah, no, again, with backpedaled excuses.
Yeah.
Let's see this one. In particular, I hate you, Skeb.
Yeah.
This one. Quote, if you took the time to look at my replies on quote, as if she hadn't posted a huge wall of text followed by hating on Skeb and
yeah, right. I was gonna say
for misinterpreting her. I'm sorry for her fans, but this is making me actively dislike her.
But I wouldn't go as far as disliking her. Like I said, like for her, it's like I wouldn't go off and say, oh, yeah, I hate Bao. I don't think she has that. I think I still like. I mean, I don't watch her. I don't even subscribe to her, so it doesn't even matter for me. But I'm not gonna go around and say, oh, I hate Bao for what it is. But yeah, it looks like apparently a lot of people are mad at her about this. I wouldn't go as far as being mad at her, but again, I don't know enough information about it, right?
Next one saying reality can be whatever I want.
Now, if she's shocking dogs, okay, that's a different story. I will definitely hate her on that, but I don't think she has yet.
Just as easy as breathing, perhaps easier. Yeah, there's not really a single quote tweet that I've seen that's just like fully defending her. As you can see, this is essentially all the quotes are. So let's go back to the direct responses really quick. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Oh.
Just as I say that, I think we found a defense tweet.
Oh, there you go.
Or defense quote tweet. I think this is a good response, and I'm glad to hear it. I will continue to stand on business that if you if you CM me,
I think she meant DM.
Commission me, okay.
Oh, I was gonna say DM commission.
What
Come
the-
me.
I expect you
It's
to
funny.
communicate your needs as far as hiding the
Imagine that. I will continue to stand on business that if you come me, it's wild.
art goes. That being said, I can accommodate most reasonable requests or provide an NDA for a small fee. But yeah, after that one, it's just back to essentially non-stop people not believing her, saying she has like no accountability and stuff, just saying it's damage control.
I
If we
wouldn't go
leave
as
the
far
quote
as
tweets
damage
and go
control,
back
though.
to the direct responses to her tweet, we can see that people are a bit more split. For example, this response reading, girl, I feel like people don't read what you say, it's scary. And this one that reads, people were too cruel to you about it. I think it went out of your circle due to your other tweet from a few days ago too. I hate the dogpiling, especially when it wasn't that serious to begin with. And this one saying, I'm so sorry. This got blown way out of proportion. The internet can be so unkind sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was some differing opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments. And we've actually got one more statement from Bao from
here we go.
about 20 minutes ago. As she says,
Nice.
I haven't been acting like myself at all. I feel that this year poisoned me deeply.
Oh,
And
God.
all I'm not able to focus on anything, but all
Imagine she had like TDS or Trump derangement syndrome. That shit would be pretty funny. I don't think she has. She doesn't look like someone that would be an anti-Trump supporter, but who knows? Doesn't really matter. I just thought it'd be funny to say.
the negatives. It's all I can think about, and it's not fair to air it out in a space that's trying to heal. I am impulsive and don't think things through. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and that is a terrible combination. It's irresponsible and really dangerous. I'm very sorry. At worst, I'm dumb as heck. Not malicious. Well, as you guys saw throughout my coverage, I do have my own criticisms for her statements and how she handled all of this. But that said, I'm inclined to believe her when she says that she's not acting like herself or feeling like herself lately. So I hope this is the end of the arc where she's become like Bao the hot take tweeter And this is now the return of Bao the Whale. And that is all the main stuff for this one, including some differing public reception towards her statements. So let me know what you think about
Yeah,
all this in
that's
the
fine.
comments. And as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead.
Yeah, and I'll put that
Oh, and
comment for you guys, this video for you guys to watch. But yeah, no, I totally get it. You know, if she's not acting herself, she's kind of going a little cuckoo with everything. I think any content creator online usually tends to have some kind of cuckoo moments. Maybe not for me. I'm kind of like whatever the fuck, and I don't give a shit, right? Like I literally just had this person comment my video saying that like, oh, you know, you turn off the disable lights, but then I end up going, oh, sorry, I forgot to turn it on. Apparently that's an option for YouTube, and then I go like, by the way, I love your VTuber. I'm gonna subscribe to you because it's really cute. So I'm gonna follow your. I'm gonna subscribe to you. So you know, I really don't give a shit half the time with my comments stuff like that. But yeah, no, I get it. If you're not feeling yourself, you know, shit, you say dumb shit like that. I mean, it happens, right? I mean, I guess I'm accused of that too. I might say some dumb shit and figure out, and I kind of regret sometimes. But that was like one time, I think. I mean, that and funny, that was actually way before I was a content creator. I think when I became a content creator, I ended up being more decaf and not giving a shit about what I say now. So I think it's kind of reversed before. Like before, when I was a not content creator, I would get people to be like, "Oh yeah, you need to watch what you say," you know. But now I'm like, I became a content creator. I'm just the opposite. I'm like, I don't know, fuck. I'll say whatever the hell I want. Like it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, I'm not here for the gold. I'm not here for anything. I'm just here to have a good time and just express how I feel about a lot of stuff or whatever it is. So, but yeah, no. Anyways, I think with Bao, like I don't. I think at the end of the day is that she just was probably just having a bad year and she was just saying dumb shit. You know, she's a dumb shit, and that's it. You just move on from her, right? Like I don't. I think Bao still has a huge community, anyways. I don't think this is really gonna affect her that much. Like it's like Hassan. You can say all the fucking terrorist threat he gets, but people are still gonna love him. He's still gonna get a billion, like thousands of views anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And like anyway, I know it's perfect in the world, right? Anyone says shit, right? Like even Asman, like I like Asman as much as the next person, but sometimes he'll say something dumb, but it's not like, oh my god, like that one, like all the time, right? He made a mistake, it happens, and we just move on from there, right? So I think overall, like this is something that like she admits her faults to. I think it's fine, but we'll see what happens. I don't know anything more about it, but I guess we'll see what happens, and I'll farm that video too.